start today with something personal. A while back, I published a post and it did well. It actually did really well by most people's standards. I got over 90 reactions, I got more than 30 comments, and more than 17 DMs. But I made zero clients from it, not one. And I remember sitting with that and thinking, how? Like, how do you get that kind of engagement and still walk away with nothing? For a while, I thought that the problem was the conversations itself. But that wasn't it. The conversations were happening. People were responding. People were in my DMs. The problem was what was happening inside those conversations. I was being likable, I was connecting, and I was warm and helpful, but I was not being a guide. Nobody walked away from those conversations thinking, I need to work with her. They walked away thinking, she seems lovely. But lovely does not pay the bills. Nobody was intrigued to work with me, and that's a very important distinction. So, this is exactly what I want to talk about today because conversations are the most underlooked part of building a business online. Everybody is focused on more likes, more followers, more comments, more reach. And they think that more of those things automatically mean more leads. It does not. There is a part of the iceberg that people never see. The visible part, content, engagement, reach, that is what most people are chasing. But below the surface is where the business actually gets built. That is in conversations, in real, deliberate conversations, and conversations that move people from passive attention into actual online trust. Today, we are talking about using conversations to build trust and sign clients online. Now, this is episode 4 in the series. In the first episode, I talked about why chasing leads is the wrong goal entirely. The real goal is building a self sustaining system that generates trust at scale. Not more leads, more trust. Then, episode 2 onwards, I started talking about the real pillars to be able to build trust at scale in any business. Today is episode 4. We're talking about conversations because conversations are the real drivers of your trust generation system. They build attention into real relationships. So now let's get really deep into thinking about conversations. The first shift that I want you to take away with conversations is that your existing ecosystem is far more valuable than you think. Really, most people underestimate how much opportunity they already have inside their existing audience currently. I don't mean just old clients, past leads, or people who comment on every post. I'm talking about people who are reading more than they are reacting to your comment, people who watch your stories without replying, people who have followed your work for a long time. These people already have some familiarity with you because if they have seen your thinking again and again, then they already hold more trust for you than they realize. Don't assume that because they're not reacting, they're not interested. You just haven't invited them into a real conversation yet. So it's worthwhile for you to see how you can engage these hidden people in your pool. Shift 2 is the iceberg effect. We tend to focus on things that we can really see and control. In business conversations, that means that you focus on having more DMs, more replies, more back and forth. But the real question is not how many conversations you're having. The real question is what is happening inside them. Think about the iceberg, the visible part, the content, the post, the engagement, the reaction. That's what everybody can see. But below the surface is where the real work happens, where your prospect is deciding to sign you up or not. So, are you showing up as someone people are really wanting to learn from? Or are you showing up as someone that people just enjoy talking to? Because both of these are really different things. A conversation that connects is not the same as a conversation that positions you as the authority and somebody who will provide a service to your client. Now, when I had those 17 DMs and 0 clients, I was connecting, but I was not guiding. I was not asking the right questions. That time, I was not creating that kind of clarity that would make someone think, oh, I need her help. So, purposeful conversations, the ones that convert them to clients, are really specific. They help the other person see their own problem a lot more clearly, and they position you as somebody who understands their problem deeply and naturally open the door so that they're wanting to go further with you, sign up and explore the solution that you have for them. Now, that genuine direction, that is the bit below the iceberg. And if you started concentrating on that, then more people would say, oh, I want to work with you. Now, let's talk about how conversations build trust. Because as your business grows, you do not just want an audience. You actually want people to feel connected to you and your work. So if you relate this with a physical business for a second, maybe a cafe, maybe a premium gym, maybe a boutique, then people are not just experiencing the product. They're experiencing the space, they're experiencing the atmosphere, they are having small interactions in there. So if your business only feels like content is being pushed out, then that keeps people at a distance. When people can feel seen, heard, and involved with you, then that creates more trust for them. And conversations help you as well because they really help you see what it is that your audience is actually struggling with. They help you see the words that they're exactly using and understand what they're afraid of, what they're wanting, what is truly happening in their world for them. So that feedback is valuable and that also helps you make your offer, your content a lot sharper. And frankly, it makes you a much better guide as well. So focus on relationship building because relationships will create your business. And this is why conversations are such an important part of a self sustaining lead generation system. They turn passive attention into active trust. And over time, trust is what turns prospects into clients. So, in the next episode, I'm going to be talking about trust loops, not lead flows, trust loops. Because the most sustainable businesses are not built on effort, they're built on systems that self reinforce trust. Because that trust is where the right people keep coming in, and you do not have to push the wheel every single day to keep your business moving. And as always, if you're wanting to use content to build trust and authority and turn conversations into clients, then book a short 15-minute consult with me. The link is in the show notes, and I will see you in the next episode.